I used an $8 face moisturizer for 4 weeks straight, and it beat Olay Regenerist, a $40 cream that dermatologists recommend and millions of people swear by. Not by a little, by a lot. And I almost didn't believe it myself. Stay with me. Because around week 2, something happened that genuinely surprised me. Welcome to Smart Save Labs. This channel exists for one reason, to test whether expensive products are actually worth the price or just the marketing. No sponsors, no brand deals, no bias, just real products, real tests, real results. Today we're going inside the skincare world, and we're going to find out if spending $48 on Olay Regenerist is actually doing anything your skin can't get for $8. Let's get into it. Why people buy the expensive one. Let's be honest. Olay Regenerist is everywhere. It's on pharmacy shelves and beauty magazines, on TV ads. It has a clean white jar, a premium feel, a satisfying texture, and the name, Regenerist, sounds like something from a science lab. That name alone makes you feel like it's working. That's not an accident. Olay spends hundreds of millions of dollars every year on marketing. They pay celebrities. They buy magazine spreads. They fund clinical studies that sound impressive but often compare their product to nothing, or to water. And when a product looks that polished and costs that much, our brain does something automatic. It says, this must be good, this must be better. We call it price-quality bias, and the skincare industry exploits it better than almost anyone. So here's the question we actually need to answer. When you strip away the jar, the ads, and the price tag, what's left? Is the formula actually superior, or are you paying $40 extra for the packaging and the name on the front? We're about to find out. This test ran for 4 full weeks, 28 days, no skipping. Here's what I used. Product A, Olay Regenerist Micro Sculpting Cream, $48 for 1.7 Oz. Product B, a generic store brand moisturizer, fragrance-free, similar claims, $8 for 2 Oz. I applied each one to different sides of the face. Same time of day, morning and night. Same cleanser, same diet, same sleep routine, same weather. Nothing changed except the product. I took close-up photos under the same lighting every week. I tracked hydration feel, texture, redness, and fine line appearance. And I brought in 2 other testers, different skin types, to make sure this wasn't just one person's experience. One tester had oily skin, one had dry. I had combination, 3 people, same 4-week window, same method. And here's what made this interesting. By day 3, we were already noticing something unexpected. Week 1, first impressions. Day 1, the Olay side felt rich, slightly thick, absorbed in about 60 seconds. Now, it left a very faint, dewy finish, nothing greasy. The $8 side, lighter, absorbed faster, maybe 30 seconds. Slightly less luxurious in texture, I won't lie. But by the end of day 1, both sides of my face felt the same, equally moisturized, equally soft. No redness on either side. The oily skin tester actually preferred the cheap side already, said the Olay felt a little heavy for them. By day 7, photos showed 0 visible difference between the 2 sides. Hydration, Tide. Texture, slight edge to Olay for feel. Slight edge to cheap for lightness. Winner of week 1, draw. With a lean toward cheap for oily skin types. But wait until you see what happened in week 2. Week 2, hydration holds. This is where things got interesting. By day 10, all 3 testers reported the same thing independently. The cheap side was holding moisture just as well throughout the day. We expected the $48 cream to pull ahead here. That's literally its core claim. Microsculpting, deep hydration, all day. But both sides performed identically when it came to how the skin felt by midday. The dry skin tester said something that stuck with me. She said, I honestly can't tell which side is which anymore. And she didn't know which product was which until after the test. We also looked at early fine lines around the eyes. Olay did seem to plump the skin very slightly around the corners. The cheap side? Similar effect, maybe 10% less pronounced, but honestly, barely noticeable in photos. Winner of week 2, near tie. Olay tiny edge on fine lines. Cheap wins on value to performance ratio already. But we're not done. Week 3 changed everything. Week 3, consistency. Test. Week 3 is where most products either prove themselves or fall apart. This was also when we hit 2 cold days and 1 unexpectedly humid stretch. Weather is a real test for moisturizers. On cold days, both products performed well. Skin stayed protected, no dry patches. On humid days, the Olay side felt slightly heavier, almost sticky in the afternoon. The cheap side, comfortable all day. The oily skin tester actually had a minor breakout on the Olay side by day 19. Nothing severe, but worth noting. No breakout on the cheap side. We also started looking at overall skin tone and brightness. The cheap product had niacinamide listed in its ingredients, a well-researched brightening agent. By week 3, there was a visible difference in brightness, slightly favoring the cheap side. That was a genuine surprise. Winner of week 3, cheap moisturizer, clearer skin, better comfort in different weather, and a brightness edge. 1 week left. And this is where we sealed it. Week 4, the verdict. Week, final 7 days. We're looking at everything now. Overall hydration consistency, both performed well, no meaningful gap. Skin texture over time, both improved from baseline. Cheap side showed marginally smoother texture on 2 of 3 testers. Fine line reduction. Olay had a minor advantage on deep static lines. Cheap had a slight advantage on surface texture. Redness and irritation, 0 issues with cheap. 1 tester had mild sensitivity to Olay on day 24, possibly the fragrance. Brightness and evenness, cheap side won clearly on all 3 testers. Breakout behavior, cheap side had 0. Olay had 1 minor incident. Overall skin feel at end of 4 weeks, both good. Cheap side felt slightly more normal. Olay felt occasionally heavier than necessary. Final week winner, cheap moisturizer. Overall, 4-week winner, cheap moisturizer. Not by a landslide, but consistently. Across all 3 testers, across multiple skin types. That's not luck, that's a pattern. So how does an $8 moisturizer beat a $48 one? The answer is simpler than you think. Look at the ingredient lists side by side. Both have humectants, things like glycerin that pull water into the skin. Both have emollients, oils and fatty acids that seal that moisture in. The core building blocks of a moisturizer are not exotic. They are not expensive to source. The difference is what comes after the formula. Olay pays for celebrity endorsements. They pay for shelf placement in major pharmacies. They fund advertising campaigns that cost more per month than some small companies make in a year. They invest in packaging design, brand identity, and retail markup. By the time that jar reaches your bathroom, a significant portion of that $48 is paying for everything except what's inside it. The cheap alternative? It's made by a company that spends almost nothing on marketing. They put more of the budget into the formula and pass the savings to you. This isn't always true. Some cheap products really are inferior. But when a cheap product includes well-researched ingredients like niacinamide, ceramides, and glycerin, and applies them in proper concentrations, the skin doesn't know how much you paid. Your skin responds to what's in the formula, not what's on the label. Well, let's talk about the real cost. Olay Regenerist, $48 for 1.7 Oz. Most people use a full jar in about 2 months. That's $288 per year on 1 moisturizer. The cheap option, $8 for $2 Oz, lasts about the same time. Actually slightly longer because there's more product. That's roughly $48 per year. Difference? $240 saved every single year on 1 product. Now think bigger. If your partner also uses a premium moisturizer, that's another $240. 2 people, 1 product category, $480 saved per year. Now think about your full skincare routine. Cleanser, toner, serum, eye cream, SPF. If the same pattern holds across even half those products, and our testing says it often does, you could be saving over $1,000 a year per person. And if you invest that $240 annually starting today, in 10 years with modest returns, that's close to $3,500 from switching your moisturizer. That's not a small decision, that's a financial habit. And it starts with questioning whether the name on the jar is doing anything for your skin or just for your perception. It's time to discuss pros and cons of both products. Olay Regenerist? Pros. Rich, premium texture. Slight edge on very deep fine lines. Widely available everywhere. Strong brand trust. Olay Regenerist? Cons. Nearly 6x the price. Heavier formula. Not ideal for oily or combination skin. Contains fragrance. Potential sensitivity risk. A large portion of cost is marketing, not formula. Cheap moisturizer, 8. Pros. Same hydration performance in real conditions. Lighter texture. Works better across skin types. Niacinamide adds brightening benefit. Fragrance-free, lower risk of irritation. More product for less money. Cheap moisturizer, 8. Cons. Less satisfying texture on first application. Slightly less noticeable effect on deep static wrinkles. Less brand recognition. Harder to trust without testing. Packaging is basic. If you care about results over experience, the cheap one is the easy choice. If texture and brand feel matter a lot to you, Olay delivers that. But it costs you $240 a year for it. Here's where I land after 4 weeks. If someone came to me and said, I want genuinely moisturized, healthy skin, what should I use? I would not tell them to spend $40 on Olay Regenerist. I would hand them the $8 option. Not because Olay is bad, it's a decent product. It does what it says, mostly. But the cheap moisturizer does the same thing, mostly, for a fraction of the cost, across 3 different skin types, over 28 days, in real conditions. That's what the test showed, and I believe in following the test, not the ad. Here's my practical recommendation. If you're currently using Olay and you love it, great, but try the cheaper option for 2 weeks before you buy your next jar. Side by side, same conditions. If you can't feel the difference after 2 weeks, you have your answer. If you can, stick with what works for you. That's not anti-Olay, that's just being a smart consumer. And that's exactly what this channel is built for. Here's what I want you to do right now. If this surprised you even a little, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel keep doing independent tests like this one. No sponsors, no brand money, just viewer support. And drop a comment below. Tell me what expensive product you've always questioned. Sunscreen, shampoo, foundation, eye cream, whatever it is, write it below and we'll test it. The best suggestions get turned into future videos, and subscribe if you haven't already. Because we're not done exposing overpriced products. Not even close. The next video is going to make you rethink something you buy every single month. I'll see you there.